blast off, watch them all fall. This is AFC North talk. Got me hype, it's about to be a touchdown. Got the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and the Browns. Are you listening? It's time to get it hype. Tune in when the season poppin'. Yeah, we going live. Hey, knock 'em out. Ay, first down, going hard. Yes, indeed. AFC North talk. Let's go. Hey, AFC North talk.
Welcome to another edition of AFC North Talk here, recapping Wild Card Weekend. It was a Wild Card Weekend. We have here Q, J-Rock,
what's up?
and
how's the weather there in Cabo, Ace? Because I know you were there before any of us. You know,
right. Yeah,
Y'all flight was delayed, man. Y'all can tell everybody else. Y'all here too.
Yeah, look, man, we're not there yet. You know, we're not there yet. We just got informed that we might be able to go. You know, you've been there. You've known for what, like since what, middle of December?
About a week.
What was that Steelers Colts game? What was that?
Yeah, it was about that.
Yeah,
I just got my tickets, so I'm on my way, bro.
Mm-hmm. It's all good. It's all. Hey,
y'all already here, man. Y'all already here, man.
The water's good. Come on in, buddy.
I'll stay in the cold for a little bit. I'll stay in the cold.
What you mean, man? You don't want to be out there. CJ Stroud, man. Come on.
Look, I'll stay in the cold for a couple of weeks. Then I'll party in Vegas. That's the goal. That's the goal.
That's the goal?
Orlando? You said you're coming to Orlando?
I know Vegas was in Cabo. You know, I know that's where Vegas was.
He meant Orlando. He meant at the Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Hey, over under Lamar on the skills competition. What you think he about to do? You think he about to break Tyler Huntley record?
Sadly, you can't see him this year over there. You won't be able to see him over there. Okay, well, we had two good games. Well, we had two games of the wild card for the AC North. Before we get started,
you ain't had to do that. You ain't had to do that. You know it's unnecessary. This is unnecessary.
Sorry. Let's go with the super chat here. Titanic says, time to laugh at the Cleveland Browns, who had the number one defense but got blown out by the Texans. And then we have Ravens Nation. I guess we found who has the real number one D. Ravens. All
right. Now everybody laughing until CJ Stroud cut the towel. Let's see who laughing next week.
The two best defense in the wild card round got destroyed. I wonder if that happens to the Ravens too.
I wonder who the second. Who the second one is. Are you talking about Dallas?
No, I think he's talking about the Steelers, maybe. Ray-Rack? I don't know.
Steelers being the second best defense. We was like number 21, 25. We was down there.
Yeah,
I don't know who he's talking about. It better not be the Eagles, because the Eagles defense is
trash. No, the Eagles defense has been one of the. I think we all thought the Eagles defense was going to be good, especially with the Georgia D-line and all that. Yeah. And they kept the secondary Bradbury, Slay. And then they brought Breyer back. Oh, not Breyer back in a trade.
They traded for him.
And then that defense. I'll talk about the Minka stuff later. Let's talk about the Browns game, since that was the first one. I know Q's hearing this over there in the background. No, I already took that super chat. What a game. That's how Saturday started. That was the first wild card game. And that first half was really good. No joke. First half was legit. First half was a good back and forward, good give and take. Flacco had a good first half. Flacco had a great first half, actually. No running game.
He was good until he wasn't.
Yes. No. So this is the thing. If I'm watching this game, I'm telling my wife, like, look, both teams are basically saying you ain't gonna run. And I said this is what I thought the game plan was gonna be for both teams. Let's see if the quarterbacks can beat us, right? Both quarterbacks were beating you. Both, right? Because in the case in the first half, Flacco was having a great first half too. Flacco was like maybe 3 incompletions, 2 tutties. I mean,
he was 20 of 24 with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was great. First half was great. No running game, so he didn't have the ability to offload some of that, right? And then And then the second half happened. And by the way, the first interception before he threw out, I said to my wife, as he's getting hit, I see he's about to throw. He's like, nah, don't do it. Don't do it. He throws the pick. Because here I am, by the way. I don't know if all Ravens fans are in my boat. Here I am trying to root for Flacco and at the same time trying to root for the Cleveland Browns to lose, right? Like I'm hoping what the first half, like here, he had a great first half and the Browns are losing, right? Like I'm good with that. I'm like, keep doing your thing and the Browns losing, and then you can just, you know what? You lost, but you played great.
Wait, Sonny, are you rooting for Flacco because you love Joe Flacco, or are you rooting for Flacco because you just want pure chaos for Cleveland in the offseason?
No, I didn't thought about pure chaos in the offseason. I legit root because, I was like, I like Flacco. I just didn't want Cleveland to win.
Yeah, but it sounded like he wanted to come to Baltimore so Baltimore could give him them blues when he came back. That's what it was.
No. You know what? If I no, I'm not gonna say it. Anyway, so I'm watching this in that pass. I'm like, oh, he's about to throw. This is before he throws it, and the pick happens. Shouldn't be a pick six. There were so many guys that could have bring him down, but whatever. The second, and then he comes back, boom, another pick six. That one, the guy baited him, and he took the bait through a hop that the guy knew where it's coming from. Similar to the Cowboys, the Packers, that slant to CeeDee Lamb. The guy knew that was coming, picked him up, pick six. After that, basically the game was over. But here's the thing. We want to talk about Flacco because I know a lot of Cleveland Browns talking about Flacco and all this. We had to talk about that defense because if we want to say Joe Flacco lost that game, retrospect, obviously those two pick sixes basically put the nail in the coffin. But that defense was not stopping CJ at all. Like there was no resistance to CJ Stroud and the passing game of the Houston Texans. They're a good passing game. This is not me saying that they're not a good passing game and then they just lost to a good or a bad passing game. But we're talking about the D-line, the trenches. You know how I'll talk about trenches. I thought there was going to be pressure on CJ Stroud. I said before the game, it's like, this game will come down. Can they make CJ Stroud look like a rookie? Well, CJ did not look like a rookie. He had the time of his life back there, a lot of time to throw, and he was picking them apart, especially Newsom. I feel there was a matchup with Newsom that they liked, they saw before the game, and they were going.
It was Hickman that they were really getting to.
Yeah.
And then Newsom would be in the slot, so he would pick up whoever Hickman lost. Mm-hmm. So it looked like Newsom, but it was Hickman too. It was a disaster. Yeah,
shout out to the OC for Houston because he definitely saw a matchup that he liked and he exploited it. Anyway, Q, I thought the defense was the key because even though when Flacco was playing good, that defense, like if Flacco was playing like he played the first half and the defense would have played like we thought they might have played, that first half should have gone to halftime, Cleveland leading that game. But since the defense had no resistance for the Texans, it was flipped. What do you thought about the game?
Well, you got into the type of game you didn't want to get to in the first half, right? Because it became a shootout and you knew that you couldn't win a shootout with the Texans. So that was a part of it, right? The defense was weird because whenever the Texans scored points, whenever the Browns scored points, the defense would just immediately go to poop. Like they scored points, they get a touchdown, 6-play, 75-yard drive, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. They give up a 4-play, 75-yard drive in 2 minutes, which is this defense has only given up like 12 drives of 75 yards all season. They gave up 1, 2, I believe 3 70+ yard scoring drives in the first quarter alone. So you talk about just a dismal performance by the defense. Now, the awkward thing with Flacco is that Flacco definitely killed the Browns' hopes of any hopes left of winning that game. Like the 2 pick sixes, that was it. And before those 2 pick sixes, the Browns were driving. They were on the 30. They were only down 10. They just got to stop on defense. And it was like going to be a 7-point game or potentially even a 3-point game if the Browns were able to score a touchdown on that drive. Joe Flacco throws a pick six, comes back around 4 plays later, throws another pick six. You're down 24. Game's done. So while that, like, he put the nail in the coffin for sure, the casket was open because the defense just could not stack any momentum that the offense was doing. It just was not complimentary football, right? The Browns would get a touchdown, you give up a touchdown immediately. The Browns get another 6-play, 75-yard drive, you give up a inexplainable Brevin Jordan touchdown. And that happened because JOK, who had a really good game outside his one play, but he decided to play make, run towards the quarterback, and they threw to the flat. I think the Browns came out, it was awkward because the Browns came into this game the more experienced team, but they didn't look it. They were making the rookie mistakes, right? They were trying to crash at the quarterback and make a play there and attack CJ Stroud and leave guys open. When the book on CJ Stroud all season has been, you can't let him see it. Like, if CJ Stroud has enough time to process, he is going to kill you. Like, that is it. Like, if he has that 2.5 to 3 seconds, he's gonna find somebody. He's accurate and he's gonna get you. And the Browns continuously let him process, let him get to his reads, let him get to his keys, let him see things unbothered. And that was going to kill you. Now, if Joe Flacco doesn't throw those 2 interceptions, I don't think you get blown out, but I don't know if you win this game. That would be a stretch, right? Because you were already down 10 before those pick sixes. And you shouldn't put Joe Flacco in the position to have to do that, right? Because at the end of the day, Joe Flacco's the 4th starting quarterback this team has tried it out. He's not the guy that you thought was a franchise guy, right? Like, if this were Deshaun, this would be a different conversation. All the blame would be on the quarterback position because all the expectations would have rested on him. But the expectations rested on the burden of the defense. Defense didn't perform. It was their worst performance of the year. And the Houston Texans did a great job of really picking on some of the players that the Browns have had out there for a little while that it didn't hurt against certain teams, right? We had Ronnie Hickman out there for a while, but most teams, it didn't hurt us that we had Ronnie Hickman out there because they didn't have anybody who could take advantage of Ronnie Hickman being out there. Well, CJ Stroud is not only out there, he's an elite quarterback, but also, well, he's playing at an elite level. I don't want to crown him yet, but he's playing at an elite level. And he's also ultra familiar with Ronnie Hickman because where did Ronnie Hickman go to school and just graduate from? CJ Stroud's Ohio State Buckeyes team. So he's gone against him. He knows his tendencies and he took advantage of that. Like, just had that man in a whirlpool all game. And like, it made Greg Newsome look bad. And I don't think Greg Newsome played well, right? Like, I think he had that one play on the goal line that was pretty big early on, but he had some mistakes. Robert Woods killed him off the line of scrimmage one time in this game. Like, he didn't have a game to remember either. But they took advantage of some guys out there. They took advantage of Ronnie Hickman being out there. They took advantage of the Browns' inability to work around these double teams with Miles and not get the pressure that they want. They bet basically on everybody else being able to not get a pressure and just doing what they wanted to do on Miles. And they bet on Laramie Tunsil and they won those bets, right? Laramie Tunsil, I would say, got the better of Miles in that game, which is not what you want to see. And their offensive line just flat out got the better of us. They were able to run the ball on us. They were able to throw the ball on us. CJ had more time than anybody else has had to throw. We didn't even have to rush him. He didn't have to even quick throw at any time. You didn't hurry him at all in this game. And if you let CJ Stroud process, he's going to kill you. And he's really good. Like, so it is what it is on that front. I can't be too mad at the offense. The offense has been the one that took the brunt of the injuries. They shouldn't have been asked to keep the game in there. The defense, it was a disappointing outing. That being said, my disappointment can only go but so far because, again, this team has 26% of people of his salary cap on IR. No team has made the playoffs with that amount of players on injured reserve in the last 10 years. So just making the playoffs is a feat. It's a consolation prize, but it is what it is. Now you look to reload, and hopefully you have an upgrade at the quarterback position, but that's going to be a conversation for all summer. You're muted.
Muted, Sonny.
Oh, I was gonna say an upgrade, but that's because of your QB's coming off an injury, so you're getting a better QB is what you mean, correct?
I'm saying you hope that's an upgrade, right? Like you hope that you can get it together. He can stay healthy. It's not a guarantee. And then you're going to get Nick Chubb back, which is going to be huge. And then your offensive line health and all that other stuff. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens for next year. But you have to feel good about it because you're getting so many guys back.
Yep. So Mr. 6-0, what do you thought about this game? Perfect week for you, by the way.
To quote the great Ice Cube, it was all good just a week ago. Nick Nasty. Little comment from Nick Nasty that I'm going to read here after the last show, the show that I went 6-0 on. Ace's analysis for the Texans versus the Browns makes no sense at all. Amari went for 265 yards versus the Texans just a couple of weeks ago. He trusts CJ Stroud over Flacco in a playoff game? Bad logic. Well, what happened? What happened in that game? If I remember correctly, the very first thing I said was one of the biggest matchups in the game was going to be Laramie Tunsil versus Myles Garrett. Did I not?
Yes.
Did I say that?
Yes,
okay, I'm just checking. Okay, secondly, I think I also mentioned I trust CJ Stroud over Joe Flacco. Who played better in this game? Which quarterback played better?
Mr. CJ Stroud.
Didn't I also say if Joe Flacco does that thing where he throws those interceptions, that's going to be a problem in this game? Is that not? He did even worse. He upped the ante. He did 2 pick sixes. I just thought the man was going to throw a pick or two. It was
that his 4th of the year
in this game?
I'm
not sure. He's been
thrown
it over.
At least 8.
I'm pretty sure he's responsible for like over 30 points for the other team.
That was nasty. Another battle. I talked about Derek Stingley and Amari Cooper. Now, I said that I thought Amari Cooper would have the advantage, but I did mention Derek Stingley has been playing very well. Derek Stingley against Amari Cooper, he shadowed him the entire game. Well, not, I guess most of the game. Yeah, it says the entire game. He allowed 0 catches with 2 pass breakups. Those were all of the matchups that I said going in that they were going to worry about. This is the other thing that I said. I said CJ Stroud is very good. Some people thought that he was a rookie and stuff like that. I'm like, the thing about CJ Stroud is you don't know who he's throwing the ball. You never know who he's throwing the ball. That's why that tight end that was just randomly out there, Brevin Jordan, just catches it because you never know who this guy is going to throw the ball to. It seems like it should be a Tank Dell when we played him, but then Noah Brown is going off for 165 yards, and you're like, when were we scouting against Noah Brown? Like, where was he at in the scouting report? And that is what CJ Stroud is. He's been that this entire season. No one has shut CJ Stroud down. Like a lot of people forget, CJ Stroud was in the MVP conversation, and the only thing that stopped him was a concussion. It was not that he played bad. It was not this or that.
He had a bad game versus the Jets.
The fact that he missed games was pretty much the reason. But he was in the MVP conversation. Like it was there. And then he was not there because of missing games. So for this game, did I expect it to be a blowout? No. But I kind of felt like it was weird that the Texans were at home. We've got Joe Flacco versus CJ Stroud. And like I mentioned, the week before for CJ Stroud was a playoff game. Whether we want to like say it's officially a playoff game or not, it was win or go home. And he came up big in that game. So in this game, I expected the Browns defense to play better. Like I know CJ Stroud is good, but for them to, fold the way that they did in this game was not something that I expected from the Browns. I mean, at one point, this was, 35 unanswered, and I think 2 of those are the two Flacco touchdowns. But they were putting in the backup quarterback in this game. That is insane for it to go this way. Outside of that, the Texans are real. I mean, I don't know if it's that people haven't played them and seen them, but the Texans have been real this whole season. DeMeco Ryans, I thought, was kind of getting slided coming into this game. This is the guy that, took over that 49ers defense. So obviously he's not a slouch when it comes to defense. Now he doesn't have the 49ers, but clearly he's going to be able to draw something up against the Browns. I thought they did a good job. I think that Singletary, I don't know how the hell they're getting this play out of Devin Singletary because he did it against us as well. I just don't know. Devin Singletary, for some reason,
yes, good
they're
year.
able to get something to go. And then I also talked about the offensive line because I just don't want to talk about Laramie Tunsil. When we played them, their offensive line was really good. And I was like, how is this offensive line this good and nobody really talks about them? Well, clearly the Browns have a better defensive line than the Bengals, and they did the same to them. I just think that they're a talented team. CJ Stroud is a good quarterback. He does not play like a rookie. They literally had I think a podcast came out today with Zaire Franklin, and they were talking about how this kid does nothing like a rookie. Like he fools people with his shoulders, all kinds of stuff. And I saw that. And the last time that I've seen something like that, it was from number 9. Like to be that good that quickly was number 9. Like somebody that doesn't look like a rookie. And he out-burrowed Joe Burrow in the game that we played him. So I think that this just kind of put the league on notice. CJ Stroud is good. But it's not just CJ Stroud. It's some of those guys on defense as well. Derek Stingley had a big game for them. They're just building something there. They're just building something there. I didn't expect it to be a blowout again. I did pick the Texans. But, you know, it is what it is. I think if you're a Browns fan, that was kind of crazy. I mean, it was the worst loss since like 1962. But you did have injuries and stuff like that. So, hey, it is what it is. Welcome to Cabo.
J-Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got to go with Asa, man. No, I don't think anybody thought it was going to be a blowout, man. But, I mean, it started out good, man. I thought that the Browns had a good chance to win. I think that they, you know, after they scored that second touchdown in the, you know, second quarter, I think they had a chance to kind of like take control of the game by running, which they never really did. And I think that they kind of like missed that opportunity with that. You kind of like put the game ball in the Flacco hands, and I mean January Flacco, you know, he shows up, but that's how you show up, you know, in the playoffs. I think he, like you said, he had that one magic run in 2012, but you know, like I said, I think Cleveland did a good job of hanging in there. Like I said, until you know, the second quarter, you couldn't really tell like who was going to win, you know, because it was kind of like going back and forth. I think that they made some plays, kind of like Cleveland kind of made plays after that second touchdown, and before Joe Flacco started throwing them picks. But once he started throwing them picks, it was kind of like over at that point. I think they pretty much sucked the momentum out of the stadium, sucked the momentum out of Cleveland, and kind of like really punched that ticket to BWI with that, you know, coming home to, you know, play the
Ravens.
The Ravens, right. So, I mean, I called last week. I think Derek Singletary had to have a decent game. He didn't dominate, but he did make significant plays. He had significant yardage. And I think that Houston did a good job with taking Myles Garrett out of the game. I didn't really ever recall hearing his name in the game at all. I think he got in on one tackle assist. But for the most part, you know, that was going to be the person that was supposed to be the game record. And, you know, he didn't really have, you know, any input in the game. So, I mean, like, once that was kind of like the thing as far as Joe Flacco throwing them interceptions, you know, I think Houston just got the momentum and they took over. So, that's pretty much all I can really say. Like I said, again, like I said, to piggyback off of what Ace said, I don't think anybody expected that blowout. But it happens. It happens when you don't come with that energy.
Yeah, and it's tough when your generational player doesn't play good. Like Miles being neutralized in this game, obviously, usually that's GG, right? Like we were expecting the D-line to take control of this game. When that didn't happen, it was going to be hard, as Q alluded to. Okay, we have a couple super chats we're going to go through before we pivot to the Steelers game. Rayback here says, Q, do you have any more tech thing to rant about? And I meant the Cowboys and Browns.
Nah, I went on a rant on one of my podcasts about how TVs don't have volume buttons no more and how we getting fucked over by television companies. Because think about this, man. You can't just turn the volume up and down on your television. You got that one button.
Yeah.
Whoever let that happen. And then they give you a Roku remote that don't barely work half the time. They don't even be Bluetooth. They just be screwing us.
Okay, that's good.
One thing about that Browns game that I didn't expect. I didn't expect Steven Nelson to get into it. Steven Nelson, boy, I mean, he's been kind of like non-existent, especially since he left Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. But to see him kind of get that pick six, that first one, that made me scratch my head on that.
Thank you, J-Rod.
Who was the receiver in that play? Because obviously
there was no receiver in that play.
No.
That was a duck he threw.
No. He threw.
You talking about the Harrison Bryant one where he just lazily like lobbed it to Harrison Bryant on a 4th and 2? See, like the first interception, I can let live.
The first one. That's the one.
The first one, he just threw it over the head of David Njoku to nobody. Like maybe it was a target to Elijah Moore, but it was closest to Steven Nelson. That's who the intended receiver had.
Well, because so Elijah Moore stops and goes, thinking that Flacco's gonna throw it deep. And so that's what it looked to me. And then Nelson like stay there as he knows
because Nelson saw the ball.
Yeah.
Elijah Moore didn't see the ball. He just saw Flacco scramble. Steven Nelson was trailing, so he saw the ball. And he knew, this is a duck. I can just catch it. Like that's all it was. But we lived and died with that kind of shit with Flacco. He had a couple plays, one to David Njoku, one to David Bell, where we lived off of it. And this is the penalty again. We had the worst day possible at the wrong time, and it is what it is. Because if this would have happened versus the Bears, nobody would care. But unfortunately, happened on national TV in front of 35.2 people, according to Nielsen records.
Habitual here says a lot of salty brownies in the chat.
Hey, I'm just glad we didn't get our ass beat like that by somebody in the division. I couldn't imagine losing a wild card game like that to somebody in the division.
I had to come on North Talk with that.
Y'all wanted the storyline, but you failed. Now sit back and watch how the flock takes care of it.
Hey, Raven fans, I hope for y'all's sake, y'all actually win next week because y'all talking a lot of shit. Right?
A whole lot.
Yeah.
If
for a team that has not gotten to the conference championship game since Ray Lewis was an active participant in the NFL, y'all kind of like brazen right now. Like I would worry about CJ Stroud personally, because like that ain't no joke. But hey, be like us, because we was talking about how we was going to meet the Ravens in the second round before we played CJ Stroud. It ended up in Cabo with Ace. All right. Like
by the way, Q, how mad are you at the Titans or Trevor Lawrence for not winning that game?
Hey man, if we couldn't beat the Texans, we just weren't gonna make a run. Right? Like if this is the performance that we were due to give up, we just weren't going to make a run. So it is what it is. Like, I can't sit here and be like, well, if we had an easier opponent, we might have won. Yeah, but hey, man, Bill came due. Bill came due on Joe Flacco. Bill came due on them injuries. Bill came due on the offensive line. Everything that we've been getting away with being super injured, the bill finally came due. Check came due. It mattered that we had Leroy Watson out there trying to block 2 edge rushers. It mattered that, it just mattered that we had all these backups out there. It mattered that Joe Flacco was out there. And hey, Bill came due. So, that was kind of a sobering one where I'm like, all right, well, this team was only going to go but so far with all these injuries. And look, shout out to the NFL script writers because they decided none of this defensive oriented nonsense in the playoffs anymore. They threw out that script and put young quarterbacks over top of it. It was like, yeah, number 1, number 2 defense, out of here, dog. CJ Stroud season and Bryce Young. I'm not Bryce Young. What's his name? Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
Yeah. They rewrote the script. We thought we were gonna get a defensive oriented season like 2015 to 17. Nah, they threw that shit in the trash, dog.
Apparently, defense don't win championships no more.
No. They like no defense wins championships. No. You know what wins championships? Quarterbacks. All right.
I mean, there's three really good defenses left, right? The Ravens, the Niners, and the Chiefs. Right,
the Ravens don't count. They have a good quarterback. We talk about teams that just did not have the quarterback.
Y'all still have a good quarterback too. Like gotcha. I'd probably say out of those 3 you named, maybe the weakest one is Brock Purdy, right? Like you guys. I mean, the other one is Lamar and Pat Mahomes. You talking about, and Lamar could have his second MVP this season. So you talking about 2 quarterbacks that both have MVPs. So
and Brock Purdy might go up against Jared Goff Is that
no.
wrong?
No. He going to Love. He's against
No.
Love.
Oh, Jordan Love. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then he gets the winner of Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield. All right. Well, that's Mhm. Hey man, what conference is easier? Like, come on, dog.
And the other side, in our side, you have Lamar, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, and CJ Stroud.
Yeah. And you can make the argument CJ's the worst one.
Right.
And I'm not sure if that's true.
So King here says, shout out to my homie Armadale for robbing that city for its football team. Y'all thought y'all could have take our leftover in Flacco? Nah. Y'all the clowns and always will be.
I hope y'all win. Because look, hey dog, the super chat's gonna be crazy next week. I might do the whole show in a Baltimore accent, talking shit on y'all if y'all lose in the divisional round.
Look, if you want me to be unprofessional, I can do it. You feel me?
Yeah, what it do? Like we'll be in here. We'll be in here eating crab cakes, laughing on your lapel if you lose. Like, be careful, be humble in this moment now. Like,
I'm trying to be humble for the rest of the city, but I cannot.
Was not on the show last week talking on it. Nah, Ace was like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna just make these picks and talk my shit if I'm right."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying, hey, play the game first, dog. Play the game, y'all reaping the rewards for y'all play the game. I'm just saying, dog.
Okay, so Codex here says, Ace, what knowledge do you possess to go 6-0?
I don't know, man. I was walking around Cabo and had to get some money back.
All the time in the world.
Had to get some. I had $24 left, man, in my account for the Hard Rock down here because I was taking them L's, and I said, you know what? I like the Packers. I like Jordan. Y'all thought that I was just playing when I was on here saying I like Jordan Love. I'm like, nah, dog. I like Jordan Love, and I went all in, and then I won on that one.
Dude, I like Jordan Love, but the Cowboys hadn't lost in 16 games at home. I was shocked.
You gotta look at the Packers team. They have a really good team. They're really young.
They do.
They have a really good team, and I just felt like the Cowboys. They kind of lost some luster.
They're frauds.
Yeah, it's Mike McCarthy. Like, come on, we got to be real now. And then the Lions. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you just gotta admit that you're wrong. And I didn't want the Lions to be good and this and that, and I just had to say I'm wrong. You know what? They're gonna win this game. So I took the Lions, even though that one was the closest one. Won that one.
That was the best game of all the games. Like
took the Bills over the Steelers. Sorry, J-Rock. Had to. I'm like, nah, I'm taking
everybody except Steelers fans and Bill Cowher took the Bills.
I'm taking that one, and then I said, you know what? I'm taking the Bucks too because the Eagles just lost me money. They blew the whole ticket against the Cardinals, dog. And AJ Brown ain't playing, and this game is in Tampa. This game is in Tampa.
Hey, you ever see somebody at work and you know that they quit because they talk about how many days they got left before they don't have to come here no more?
Yep.
That's the entire Philadelphia Eagles team. Like, that looked like a team that's ready to go. Like, hey, man,
They were done. I mean, they lost 6 out of the last 7 games. I mean,
ready to go. Look,
your boy.
Hey, if you've ever had a job where you've counted down the days until the last official day of your job, that is every single player in the Philadelphia Eagles locker room, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Ain't none of them want to come back. Jason Kelsey announced that he retired before the game ended. That's how much they wanted to go home. They was done. Done.
Is Sirianni done with that team? Do you think they fire him? Do you think they? I think
you give him a chance to fix it because, like, he probably made some young coach mistakes. You give him a chance to fix it. He did go to the Super Bowl last year, but hey, man. He's got to acknowledge that the reason that they stuck is because for whatever reason, all them dudes hated coming to work. They're talented. They should be much better than that. But there was a dynamic established on both sides of the ball. You got Matt Patricia clueless ass out there taking over for Sean Desai's clueless ass out there. And then you got Brian Johnson clueless ass out there on offense. Don't nobody like working. We know that this team liked the work. They were working hard last year under good coordinators. You got to hire better coordinators. You got to create a better environment for your team to thrive in. And that looked like a team for the last month and a half that's ready to go. They are not trying to play anymore. The Eagles were pissed that they played on Monday because now they don't get that weekend back. They was watching the Browns like, dog, why can't that be us? Like, we can't be out of. I'll be out of here Saturday at 8. I get Sunday to myself. They mad as hell. They had to act still engaged in the season on Sunday because they played on Monday.
At least they were in Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, look, them flights direct. Cancun right there.
Ray back here said the thing that was impressive Browns fans the most about this team finally caught up to them. They just picked the worst time to look like a team with all those injuries.
Yeah, I mean, like the defensive part, I just think they had a straight up bad game. Like Ronnie Hickman being in there, that did affect things. Like Grant was healthy. I think that was a pivotal game time decision that didn't get in the Browns' favor. Grant didn't play. I don't think Grant erases a 30-point deficit, but I think it does something there. But yeah, I mean, they weren't healthy, but even if they were healthy, if they came out and played like they did against the Texans, they wouldn't win that game. This was about how they came out. I think they were a little arrogant. I think they underestimated CJ Stroud, and CJ's not one of them dudes you underestimate because he'll make you pay every time.
Titanic says, Ace enjoying the playoff from the basement.
Titanic, let me let you know something. When you get eliminated from the playoffs, you're in the basement. You're in the basement too. You just asking me to
I'm
scoot
pretty sure
over.
Titanic is a Raven fan. He's just they riding that wave right now. They getting off.
Right. CJ Stroud is not to be messed with. That's
hey
all.
Man, we'll see. We will see who's talking on Sunday.
I'm trying to tell y'all now, if the Ravens lose next week, I'm not going outside.
Look, this guy has
I'm staying in the house.
This guy has played CJ Stroud, and this guy over here.
We all played it. You guys played
him week 1. Week 1, CJ Stroud versus middle of the season. CJ Stroud is
completely different.
Did he get y'all, J-Rod?
Yeah.
They got us too. They got us like
one left, dog. He already had a look at you, Sonny. I'm just saying, hey, look, the AFC North Reaper might be coming, dog, because we was all confident. We all was like, that's a rookie. This is AFC North football. He ain't about to do. And then we come back talk about CJ Stroud could have won the MVP.
Okay. It started over here because I remember that game. It was like
they beat us bad. They beat us bad. It was like 30 something. We
got something to prove. And
if the Ravens do it, if the Ravens just blow out the Texans this weekend, they are the undisputed champs of the North, and they can talk as much shit as they want all summer, unless they lose horribly to Pat Mahomes, to which then I would claim victory over them. But
claim victory.
Yes, I would claim it.
Y'all
game was 30-6, dog. He threw for 300 yards. He was vocal in the media about it too, because he was like, "Oh, they don't think we have a chance. Like they really sleeping on us." Like, and that was you could arguably say Pittsburgh started this whole CJ Stroud thing, and Pittsburgh didn't even say anything. It was just the media. The media was like, "Nah, the Texans aren't real," and this and that. And he came out and was like, "Nah, we got a shot. We definitely got a shot for sure." And he did that.
Fans in the chat, you're setting me up now. I'm confident that we can win next week, but you're setting me up to be eating alive if we lose because of all the super chats.
Hey man, y'all already booking y'all tickets to the conference championship. Hey, first time backs is win.
2012. It's here. 2012. Yes. Over 10 years. It's okay. I mean, there's other teams that haven't been there longer, so.
No, I was saying it's just been over 10 years, so it's like it'll be a big deal if y'all get back. So,
right here says also those two tackles need to find a new place of employment. I don't ever want to see James Hudson and Geron Christians
brother.
Name on the Browns roster again.
They are 4th string players. Like, yeah, like you know what I mean? Like, let them live, man. Why we mad at them? They just like us. All right. Like they usually get paid to watch too. Like that's that they just is what it is, man. You can't be too mad at them. They not supposed to be good.
Yeah. Inf J Tyrone says, no way the script writers are not going to let Taylor be at the Super Bowl.
Hey man, this ain't about Taylor Swift. It's because they got number 15 in that jersey, dog. By the way, hey, the wide receivers was catching the ball, wasn't they?
Yeah.
Playoffs, they started catching the ball, right? Oh, I'm worried about Pat. He ain't got they'll figure it out. Like
Titanic here says, Ace, do you enjoy play?
Yes, I do. Because you know what?
Nothing to lose.
I got a better draft pick, dog.
Bradley.
You know, when you get in the shower and it's the hot shower and the first person gets in and gets the hot water, and you got the second person and third. I'm the first person, dog. I'm getting all the hot water.
Bradley.
I love how Motto today is losing. Ain't that bad?
You have to flip it. You have to flip it.
And by the way, draft picks are so 2021. You know, like I haven't heard.
After this guy got Zay Jones. I need some of that Zay Jones magic in Cincinnati. I need some of that.
Do you guys pick this year, Q? Real question. Do you guys have a draft pick this year or is it next year?
No, we don't got one until 2024. So next year.
No, Sonny being messy, man.
No. I wasn't sure. So this year you don't. Next year, okay. I thought it was done. Anyway, shout out to Sonny. Bradley here says, shout out to Miles Garrett.
I thought it was done this year. No, you absolutely did not.
I thought so. Anyway, shout out to I wasn't sure. Shout out to my scans for setting out the playoff in solidarity with TJ Watt. This is for Bradley. From Bradley. Ravens Nation says Lamar Jokic like breakthrough run incoming.
What?
It says Lamar Jokic like breakthrough run incoming. You know how Jokic last year
got through? He's talking about how Jokic got through.
Oh, he's gonna have a Jokic like breakthrough run.
Yeah. That's what
we shall see.
Yeah, we shall.
Lamar and Jokic are so different because Lamar looks apart. Lamar, has been up there.
Lamar gets criticized for being too athletic. That's not.
Jokic is like, do you play basketball?
Jokic is like, who's the Lions quarterback? What's the Lions quarterback? That's Jokic.
I know you.
Golf.
That is golf.
Ray right here says the Ravens play the first game on Saturday. Don't let Stroud get off, or you will have a really long weekend.
Hey, dog, I'm just trying to warn Raven fans. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of took CJ Stroud lightly.
That's why I was gonna ask. That's why I was asking Sonny, is Kyle Hamilton gonna be back? That's why
he's back.
He's back. Okay. Right.
I walked away from that game being like, I didn't prepare for them. Like I thought I didn't mentally prepare myself for this game as if I was playing like a Lamar or Joe Burrow. I was like, nah, it was more like Trevor Lawrence prep. Ooh, he's not Trevor Lawrence, y'all.
No, he's not Trevor Lawrence.
He's so much better than Trevor Lawrence. Honestly, Joe Burrow has never looked that good against us. Like
John Mechie, this man be throwing to everybody, dog.
Yeah.
Like it don't.
Bro.
He throws to anybody. That's what I will tell you right now. He will throw to anybody.
You were asking the one that so Hamilton should be back, but Marlon Humphrey still hasn't practiced.
I mean, respectfully, I don't think that matters.
3 weeks. He hasn't practiced in 3 weeks.
I don't think that matters.
Or a month.
But
is that disrespect to Marlon Humphrey or is that disrespect to CJ?
Disrespectfully, that don't matter.
Nah, it matters. It matters.
That's nasty.
You about to be like, dog, Nico Collins got gas? What the hell?
Marlon Humphreys ain't been having a good year.
Well, Marlon Humphrey's best. He's been injured a lot this year, but this year when they put him in the slot, did not have a good year, good game. On the outside, he looked better, but when Hamilton didn't play, he had to go to the slot. He wasn't great, and then he got hurt. again. So he's been hurt 3 different times this year. So yeah, he hasn't had a good year. I understand.
That is the trap with the Texans. Everybody always thinks, "Oh, we just gonna put this person on that person, this person." That is not how CJ Stroud works.
Hey man, Roquan Smith better bring his running shoes. They are.
It's an add on the Humphreys thing. Like he has a good year every other year. This was a year that he had a bad year. The last year I think he had a decent year, but next year I think he might have a decent year if he comes back.
I still feel like if you got Marlon Humphrey and he can go, you gonna need him.
Oh yeah,
you gonna need him.
I would take him over Rocky Sin.
Yes, or Darby. That's those are the backups of him.
You know what though, Sonny? This is a good game not to have Marcus Peters for because Marcus Peters would talk to something in this one. Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters gonna try to make a play and CJ gonna see it. Yeah. Hey, look, I hope the Ravens get the season of their dream. Because I would hate to see Sonny have to pay for y'all sins like this. He ain't done nothing to us. Sonny ain't talk shit, nothing. He ain't said no memes in the group text, nothing. Sonny and Engraven, they've been model citizens with us.
Yeah, Sonny's been good this whole season, man.
But I'm paying for it if we lose. I know.
Oh, yeah. You paying for all of them Raven fanatic nation.
It's not going to be about you, man. It's going to be about Aaron Butler, man. It's going to be about Aaron Butler.
Aaron Butler. Who's the other hater in there? Is it Willie? Is it Willie in there? Like
y'all. So this is for J-Rock. Y'all have to get a QB this season.
Absolutely. We need at least 2. Like we were talking before the actual show. And I think Justin Fields, definitely we should go, try for Justin Fields at least to get him a young gun to come in there and compete with Kenny Pickett. And then we needed like a solid veteran. Somebody that's going to be able to, at least carry us if we got it.
But you already have Rudolph for that. That's the Rudolph.
Rudolph not coming back.
I don't think that you can.
And Rudolph has had enough time to show that he is not NFL caliber. Now, granted, I think he played balls to the wall because they allowed him to kind of throw it. They knew that probably at the end of the year he wasn't coming back. I think at the press conference at the end of the game, he sounded like he knew he wasn't coming back. But at the end of the day, he not coming back. So yeah, we need 2 quarterbacks.
Hey J-Rock, man, come on! You Kenny Pickett's record with the Steelers is great. You got to see that one through.
He's still on the team. I mean, like I said, I'm going to give him to the end of next season to get his stuff together, and if not, he's going to have to be out of here too. You get about 3 years.
Bring in Sam Darnold. Who's the perfect replacement for Mitch Trubisky? Sam Darnold. Bring in Sam.
We don't need the Lego policeman.
Cool. Bring in Sam. We got before with Kyle. Bring in Sam.
That's okay. We good.
Jake a free agent.
He cool in that warm weather over there in San Francisco.
Nah. Come on, bring in. Who's another failed first round quarterback? Zach Wilson might be available.
We good on him.
Russ will be out there.
No. That's too serious of an option for Pittsburgh. That's not what they do in free agency. They're gonna
Russ Wilson either.
Yeah.
By the way, the rumor is Tomlin coming back, but he got testy in that when that press reporter asked him.
As he should. He should not have been happy with the results of that game. And instead of talking about the game, you talking about his contract and where he should be next year. I would have walked out too. Well, I wouldn't have walked out like that. He walked out kind of sassy. I ain't gonna hold you. But
he walked out like LeBron with the tuxedo suit.
He definitely should have addressed it a little bit. You know what I'm saying, in a different type of way. But yeah, you don't talk about no man future and the contract and none of that. After you just lost like that.
He walked out like girl bye.
Right here says no Q F them. I need to be mad at someone and I choose those 2 tackles.
That's rough, man. You gonna be mad at the brokest players on the team? Like they just trying to get it. They just trying to make a living, dog.
You can be mad at Flacco. He doesn't give a shit at this point. He might not even come back.
Just be mad at Miles. Like it ain't gonna touch you. Like just be mad at Miles. Say whatever you want. Then by the time you win Defensive Player of the Year, we'll be back to back. Oh yeah, he's that guy. Like he can handle it.
Don't bring that debate because that's the whole. I saw 2 debates in Browns chat.
It's pretty much here.
Look. I saw 2 things here. I saw Miles hasn't been basically there for the last 6 games, is what I saw from Twitter. And then a lot of memes of they let Baker go and look where Baker's at.
Hey, but at the end of the day, we'll have the defensive player of the year. So it's okay. And also, come on, y'all. Come on, we still doing Baker Mayfield takes.
I saw a lot of that after he won the game. Money making Mitch here says, "We cocky Ravens flock. We are the best team in the NFL. We earned the right to be cocky. Ravens by 20."
Oh, that's a big booty beat down. That's a triple B. That is a triple B. Hey, hold on, wait. Ace, rules analyst. Does that count? That's a triple B. Hey, hold on, wait.
This is not the preview.
Review it. Is that
like a triple B?
J-Rock, is that a triple B?
Ravens by 20 is a triple B.
Ravens by 20.
Look it out.
Dog, y'all ain't even wait till the preview show. Like, y'all really ready.
What are you doing, money making Mitch?
Y'all not disciplined. Y'all too excited.
They getting anxious, man. They get anxious because they got
that's crazy.
Y'all have to feel bad for me at this point.
Nah, that's what they do. That's why I say a lot of Ravens players are coming out this year, especially at the we lost. But yeah, at the we lost, man, everybody was coming out the woodwork. Like I said, I just hope for y'all's sake, you know what I'm saying, that y'all come through this week, because the way CJ Stroud looking.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, y'all made for the guru for being a little bit too ready to go with that. But
Aaron Butler, what is that?
A review show of a week that y'all didn't even play in. That's nuts.
53-10.
That's wow.
Okay, let me keep reading super chats here. Jaguars food here says, "Q, y'all need another back to go along with Chubb. Keep him fresh is important."
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to go draft pick or veteran with that. I would honestly prefer veteran, given that this team's trying to win right now. But yeah, they definitely need an upgrade at backup running back, just in case something happens to Nick Chubb again too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's wrong with Kareem Hunt?
Kareem Hunt's a short yardage back, but he's not necessarily a give him 20 carries back anymore.
Okay.
Ray back here says, "I watch Will Anderson just push James Hudson hands down before he could even touch it. Let me just hate you, please. I need something."
Wait, man. Will Anderson was a top 5 draft pick. James Hudson was a 4th round pick out of the University of Cincinnati. Like, nah, man. Like, come on. Nobody thought James.
You know who could be back for y'all? No joke. JK will be looking for a place that he can have a 1-year proof media.
Yeah, look, I understand that. That makes sense in some ways, but we can't have a running back coming off of an ACL and a backup running back coming off of an Achilles for the second time in a row.
He got had a Jamal Lewis story. come there and set records.
Jaguars foot here says, "Ace, what's the
former Ravens will be working out for us?
For T to stay, if you're talking about just for next season, I think it's like 75% that they're just gonna put the franchise tag on them.
Transition? Will they do the transition?
Franchise, they'll probably do franchise. I don't believe, I might be incorrect, but I don't believe we've ever used transition tag.
Man, Sonny, they are not doing you any favors.
Look at this.
Money making Mitch coming back.
I ain't scared of no Texan. BBB confirmed. Who trying to bet? I got 1,000 on the Ravens.
I wonder if he understood.
I would take the bet if I didn't have a family. There's no way my wife would kick me out of the house if I lost. If I bet $1,000 on something.
I ain't confident on my Ravens. But I'm not talking crazy like this. Okay, before we keep going, let's pivot. I need a pivot.
Bills, Steelers yet, and we got
previewing. We're not previewing this game. This is Thursday. Y'all need to chill. Y'all need to chill. Let's talk about Steelers. I need something better. Let's talk about Steelers. Wow. I forgot what I was gonna say. You know what, J-Rod? You take it. Talk.
That's all right. I got you, son. Man, again, coming into this game, man, I was really optimistic. I think we had everything to win and nothing to lose. I was extremely disappointed with the energy that they played with in the game. I mean, they from the jump. I mean, they kind of played like they weren't in it, like they was just ready to lay down. And I mean, we got killed from the beginning with turnovers. Once they turned the ball over, GP was the first person to turn the ball over with that fumble. And at first I didn't think it was, but then after watching the review, yeah, that was a clear fumble, man. And then the Mason interception, they were just untimely, and I think that those are the main catalysts for our loss. Anytime you take the points off of your board and put them on their board, you setting yourself up a recipe for a disaster. And they scored on both of those turnovers as well. So I mean, that never helps. I think both of them was untimely and they shouldn't have happened. But I mean, it was bad play calling. It was bad all around. Bad play calling. I mean, they started off the game. I think the first three drives we did run, pass, and you can see exactly what they was doing. And every time they put 8 and 9 players in the box, daring us to run. And what did we do on the third play? We did a short yardage pass that didn't work. So I mean, we was too predictable with that play calling. I think when you get predictable like that, you put Buffalo in a position to be able to call the short yardage passes, knowing that it was cold outside, knowing that Mason wasn't confident, and then they big boyed us in their house. So to add to the play calling, I think we had poor clock management. I think we had a chance at the end of the first half to maybe get some points on the board, and while it was still like 21-7. And we just laid down. I think it was like almost 2 minutes left on the clock. And instead of them defensively gearing up to maybe turn the ball over and run it down the field, they let the play clock go down. And Buffalo knew it. So, I mean, they did little short yardage passes, ran the ball because they knew all they had to do was run the clock out and go into to halftime. And, that was not conducive to a win. We weren't aggressive enough. When it comes to the play calling, we weren't aggressive enough when it comes to actually executing those plays. And I think, like I said, it was bad all around. Like I said, the first touchdown that we gave up, Patrick Peterson goes out into the flat with Atlanta Roberts and let Kincaid run behind him. Why was you playing in the secondary, but you going out to the flat with a running back? That's not your job. Atlanta Roberts was going out there, but you let Kincaid run behind you and then put your hands up like you ain't know what was going on. You're done. Get up. I need Patrick Peterson out of here. I need Levi Wallace out of here because he don't make tackles. I need it's a number of players. But with that being said,
I'm waiting for the Minka one.
Well, I mean, Minka was at fault, but again, I can't really fault Minka because he wasn't in the fold the last 7-8 weeks when he was hurt. I mean, at first he hurt his hamstring and he was on IR for 4 weeks. Then he came back and broke his hand and he was out for 3 or 4 more weeks. You know what I'm saying? So he was out majority of the season. And to be honest, I would have just worked him back in the game instead of starting him. They made that mistake when he came off of his hamstring, and I think that was a catalyst to why he broke his hand. But with that being said, he messed up. He missed the tackles, and he allowed the Bills to score. That was bad. I really don't have anything a whole lot to say about that. But I mean, the defense in whole gave up consistently. They gave up yards. They couldn't tackle. They allowed Josh Allen to dominate them in ways because it was cold outside. They didn't want to tackle him, and he knew that. When he wanted to run, he ran, and we couldn't stop James Cook either. So I'm disappointed, like I said, in the whole of how defensively they played. To the silver lining in all this is Mason Rudolph didn't play bad. I think he had that, like I said, that one interception, but I mean, for the most part, he had a decent game, and I mean, like, you can really consider that more so play calling than anything because, like I said, we had a chance to score in the end zone on that drive when he threw that interception. we were inside the 5-yard line. You got Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, who have for the last at least 4 to 5 weeks been two of the best running back duos in the league. Why did you not run on more than one opportunity in that drive? But you let them big boy you and bully you as far as like the defensive line and chose not to run it. I don't understand. Of course, you can be mad on some other things. I think that the refs, caused some bad calls. They were some no calls on the hold that I seen Highsmith getting held at least 3 times. That we should have got a holding penalty. It was a bad call on Miles Jack a couple times when on the slide when he went to go hit Josh Allen. And I mean, it wasn't a hit, a helmet-to-helmet hit. It wasn't vicious. Matter of fact, I seen the Texans hit Joe Flacco in the game when Joe Flacco was sliding, and they never called it. So it's an inconsistency as far as like what you call a penalty on. Again, on that same drive where Miles Jack hit Josh Allen, he got that holding call for a pass that Josh Allen threw away, and nobody had a chance to get it. So it was like, and I actually seen the refs in the huddle really sitting there convening like we got to give him something. Even though the pass was uncatchable, he got to get something, and they wound up giving him a holding call. Which is egregious. I don't like that. The block in the back on JPJ, they gave him a concussion to put him out for the rest of the game. Offensive line, a 300-pounder coming behind you full speed and hitting JPJ in the back of the head is unacceptable for you to not throw. The taunting penalty, I think Diggs should have got coming on the Steelers sideline and squirting water, Gatorade in his mouth after he made a play is egregious. How do you not make that call? How do you not make that? Furthermore, he shouldn't have made it out that sideline without getting whipped his ass. I ain't gonna hold you. And that, like I said, that atoned for a lot of the the temperature that Pittsburgh did not play with energy like they wanted to play. And I mean, like I said, this was one of the reasons why I personally didn't even want them to go to the playoffs. I think that they lucked up. Obviously they lucked up and made it, but they were not a playoff team. I mean, you playing with 3rd or 4th string players you calling out the practice squad, players you calling out the couch from playing Call of Duty, and players who don't really know the climate of the game. But with that being said, 3rd string quarterback and Mason Rudolph should not have been leading this team into the playoffs. We weren't ready, and the Bills were at the end of the day. So, like I said, you can keep making all the excuses. I think GP at the end of the game made a comment as far as like, when you play the Bills and you pay the refs, it's impossible to win, which is true to a degree. But also you have to account for one of your turnovers that you caused that gave Buffalo points. So at the end of the day, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. And, all we got to do is look forward to next year. But some heads do need to roll. It does need to be a larger players that do not need to be on this roster next year. And, I'm more than willing to be the catalyst and be the person to create this list.
Steelers fans complaining about flags. Ain't that something, Ace? Ain't that something, dog?
Flags in
a game like this, you got to be. You got to, man.
Physical hits, Quincy. They complaining about his.
That's nuts. I saw one of their players try to kill Colt McCoy and Josh Cribbs in one game. And then they celebrated him for it.
It was a different league back then, man. It was a different league back then.
It was 10 years ago.
The Steelers and the Ravens was two of the teams that changed the hit rules.
I think William Gay is still celebrating. And what I'm talking about, J-Rock, when that man was doing that for like 10 yards, just celebrating all around the end zone.
It's okay, J-Rock.
James Harrison single-handedly wrote the CBA as far as like these unnecessary roughness. I still remember that. Man,
you about rules that y'all created.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of good. It was a lot of nasty hits.
And you wasn't complaining about them rules when Vontaze Burfict got that penalty, was you?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. He the one that created the Antonio Brown that we see today.
No, it's just always funny with Steelers fans want to complain. Like it's funny when Patriot fans and Steelers fans get against each other. Like the Patriot fans, they always get them calls. Why they complain? And you hear Patriot fans complain about Steelers fans the same way. And that's how I know the league's not rigged, because I'm like, ain't no way everybody think it's against them.
Yeah, I agree.
And to mention, I forgot about the fans throwing snowballs at our players while we catching the end zone. Like, come on, yo! Like,
yeah.
All of them elements against us, yo. We like I say, we shouldn't have been there from the jump. But I mean, we had a chance to come back when we was only down 7. But after that, we pretty much pissed the bed. And
George Pickens out here dribbling footballs.
Okay, Ace, what do you thought about this game?
Yeah, man. I think a couple weeks ago I said if the Bills win this game, it's going to be because of Josh Allen. If the Steelers win this game, it's going to be because of Josh Allen. The Bills won this game because of Josh Allen. He had 3 touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown in this one. I do think that the Steelers put up a good fight, because at first they got down. It looked like it was going to be a blowout early on, and they fought back, right? But I knew once they hit 17 points, I was like, yeah, it's over. It's over. they didn't hit 17. We done seen this Steelers offense this season. Once they get stuck on 17, they just something just happens, and they're just not able to give any more points. I think Q has said it coming into this, is that Cook was going to be a big factor in this game, and he was able to do whatever he wanted on the ground. I expected more. Now, obviously, this game got changed on us, right? Because we were thinking this is going to be a snow game. Yeah. I honestly think if it was a snow game, that would have benefited the Steelers. Honestly, like, I know that it would be hard for them to stop, the run game, but that would have kind of limited Josh Allen a little bit, right? Like, he wouldn't have been able to just do whatever in terms of throwing and stuff like that. But I think that this Bills team, they're just a good team. I mean, the Steelers have had kind of the bad luck of the draw the last couple of times they've been in the playoffs. They get the Chiefs, then they get the Bills this time. And I mean, when they cleaned out all of that snow and I saw how clean that field was, I was like, "Oh yeah, this one's over." This. I
ain't gonna lie, Ace. I said the same thing. I said, "Damn, that feels clean."
I was like, "Oh yeah,
It look like it's that cold, that windy up there in Even."
No, when Josh Allen was making good decisions in that second quarter, I was like, "Oh no, he's taking checkdowns. They cooked, dog. Like he responsible." Josh Allen showed up with his suitcase today. That's y'all fucked.
He really did. Then the whole time I kept thinking he eventually gonna throw it.
I'm like, he gonna jump in that ball pit eventually, right? Nah, Josh Allen was a grown up.
I was thinking when it was 24-17, I'm like, this is the moment where Josh Allen throws the pick. And
I called that too. After we scored that touchdown to make it 17, I said, "Look, we need a pick, and it's gonna be the next drive." Nope. What happened? We go down there, get them penalties, and then the Shakir go in and break Minkah Fitzpatrick and go in the end zone. I say, "God."
Still Shakir in this game, man. Dalton Kincaid. I was a fan of Kincaid coming in. They just were the better team, man. At the end of the day. They had more of the playoff experience. This was Mason Rudolph. I do think Mason Rudolph played solid. However, that's going to create a dilemma, because if Mason Rudolph was good enough to start in this game and Kenny Pickett was fully healthy, where does that leave you next season? Is it a camp battle? Where is that? But, I mean, I expected the Bills to win this game. I honestly did. They ended up winning it comfortably, but I don't think it was super comfortable the whole game. I think it got to a point where you thought that the Steelers could possibly pull it off, and then the Bills end up pulling away. So I think if you're a Steelers fan, all I can say is this is why I said welcome to the Andy Dalton era, because what happens is you're going to be good enough to go to the playoffs, right? You'll get there. You will not be good enough to win them. And because of that, just like you're stuck right now with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett, who are you going to be able to draft? All of the quarterbacks that are going to be drafted, they'll likely be taken. This is a good class too. So this was a class that you would want to be in the top 10, top 15. Mm-hmm. Do they try to trade up? That's going to be on them. But if you're in this situation, it can get nasty. And the only way that you get out of it, only way we got out of it, was Andy Dalton had to get hurt for a season, and we had to suck and be trash for the rest of it. So unfortunately,
you cannot do that with Tomlin.
You cannot do that with Tomlin. And
you're
you're seeing like we talked about this. The NFL now is a quarterback league. Now you got CJ Stroud. You already had all of those guys in the AFC. There's gonna be another guy next season, possibly. We could be looking at Caleb Williams or one of them over here too. So I think if I'm a Pittsburgh fan, you got to figure out that quarterback position because the defense is nice, Tomlin is nice, but it's not enough. I think if we were having this show probably yesterday, people would probably be saying they don't know if Tomlin's coming back. He comes out today and says that he is going to be back. So expect him back, but they got to figure out what the rest to do with this team because if not, this could be kind of the resulting thing. And then the craziest thing is
I can't hate
Steelers now have the longest playoff drought in the AFC North. That is crazy. We are in the spot
in the AFC North. They have one of the longest in the AFC in the NFL. Right
Somebody
now?
said it's been like 23 teams that have won a playoff game since the last time, which I don't even know how that math is mathing, but they said 23 teams have won a playoff game more recent than.
Let's look it up. Yeah. Longest NFL playoff win drought. Right? That's what we put in.
Mm-hmm.
This for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Their longest playoff drought.
Last time we won a playoff game,
it was 2016.
It had to be after the Ravens.
It was 2017 because my son. That's why I made it too.
Because the Lions ended their playoff win drought.
So we beat Kansas City. The first game was we beat Kansas City.
The Lions just ended theirs, and now it's the Dolphins now. It's the Dolphins now since 2000.
Oh yeah, what the last time the Dolphins won a damn playoff game?
2000.
2000. Dan Marino.
Jason.
No, Pennington probably. Right.
Chad Pennington, number 10.
Was it Chad Pennington?
Probably.
No, Chad was like 2007, right? 2000. Like Miami Dolphins. That might have been old ass Dan Marino.
Yeah, Jay Feely or something.
Jay Feely? No, I can't be.
Ray Lewis played against this team his rookie year.
It did. Yeah.
Like that's nuts. Hold on.
I'm gonna say I know Jason Taylor was on the team.
Dog, Ed Reed was in college.
That got to be like
Jay Fiedler, Damon Harrod.
Jay Fiedler. I told you, bro. I said Jay Feely, but I meant Jay Fiedler. Fiedler. Yes, damn. Bro. Yes.
That's nuts, dog.
Damn.
That is crazy.
That's the last time they had like I guess Tannehill. If you
really so what is the order of the win drought? Q, since you
since I looked it up, I'm looking up active win drought. The Raiders haven't won a playoff game since 2003. The Commanders haven't won one since 2006, so they're third. The Bears haven't won one, so the Bears and the Jets haven't won a playoff game in 13 years since 2011. The Cardinals, 8 years, 2016. Panthers, 8. Wow, they haven't won a playoff game since Cam won that game to get to the Super Bowl. That's nuts. Yeah. The Denver Broncos haven't won a game since they won that Super Bowl, ironically enough. The Atlanta Falcons have not won a playoff game since they gave up that lead to Tom Brady, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are right there next to the Falcons. The Colts, Chargers, New England Patriots, Minnesota Vikings, Seattle Seahawks, Tennessee Titans, New Orleans Saints, Cleveland Browns, and Baltimore Ravens, and Cincinnati Bengals, and Jacksonville Jaguars, LA Rams, and Giants have all won a playoff game more recently than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, they said it's like 23, dog.
That's why I say, it sounds good to have that 17 non-losing seasons, but that don't mean nothing unless you're going to take it further, man. We don't care about none of that. If you're going to go one and done, if you're gonna keep going in there and getting beat, I think Tomlin is 3-8 in the playoffs.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Has he been to a conference championship game? Well, he's been to
23 other teams have won a playoff game more recently than the Steelers. That is also
crazy. They're the only team to have not won a playoff game in 6 years and not changed their coach.
Yeah.
The craziest thing though is I don't think Tomlin's actually the issue. I don't think it's Tomlin.
Here's an issue because he creates the environment. So I don't think that he needs to go because he's a hell of a coach. But if you can't change the philosophy, like I think that I'm not advocating for Bill Belichick, but I think that he has to in place a Bill Belichick type environment. And if you don't put that environment in, it's not going to. That's why a lot of players don't like to play in New England because they can't express themselves. They can't. They got to be a unit. You have to be a patriot when you go.
But J-Rod, is it that you guys had Big Ben? Like, how much was it that it was actually that you guys had a really good quarterback, future Hall of Famer?
But they still underperformed with Big Ben.
Not only did you have Big Ben, but you had leaders like Hans Ward. You had Jerome Bettis. You had a lot of Hall of Famers that that was on that team that was leaders, and they spoke for not only themselves but for the team as well. But they carried that Bill Cowher mentality, and Bill Cowher was no nonsense.
Hey, I gotta
play with that.
I would love to point out here. That's the second longest playoff drought in NFL history all time.
What's that?
Y'all would never guess it. Pittsburgh Steelers, 39 years.
For a playoff win?
Yeah, they had a 39-year playoff drought.
All time, not now. But
I mean, you talking about in the between the 80s and the 90s?
At the beginning.
Basically from your inception until you hired former Cleveland Brown Chuck Noll. Yes.
Man, that's
and then you hired former Cleveland Brown Bill Cowher. You know what's wrong with Mike Tomlin? He's not a former Cleveland Brown. Let him coach for the Browns for a year and then let him come back, and then he'll be able to win y'all a championship by himself again. Y'all need a former Brown in there. Like you need a little bit of orange for that Pittsburgh thing to work. That's what you're missing.
Y'all ain't gonna want to let him go after that.
By the way, the AFC North is home to like 3 of the top 10 playoffs losing droughts in NFL history. Like the Browns had a 25-year one. We all know about the Bengals' legendary 30-year streak, which shout out to A's. I mean, that was most of your life. And then there was a 39-year streak, which happened before all of us were born. So shout out to that. You know what I mean? But yeah. Again, just reminding you, Pittsburgh really wasn't nothing until they started hiring some former Brownies in there. Hey, good to know.
Here you go.
Q, do you have anything for this game?
Anything for this Pittsburgh game?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of what I expected. I thought Pittsburgh would give it a little bit of a fight, but I thought ultimately just Buffalo was the better team. They're playing at home. And as long as Josh Allen behaves himself, they should win this game. And Josh Allen behaved himself. He didn't make multiple big mistakes in all of that. He just kind of just played a regular Josh Allen game, which was really good. He was balling. That rushing touchdown was crazy, by the way. Like, we ain't talked about that yet. Yeah, that was nuts. He took off. Who was that in your second? Who are your corners?
Minka.
He took off on Minka like that.
KZ was the first person to miss the tackle. And then after he got through the line, I think what let him through the line was Ogunjobi. Ogunjobi led him through the line. Once he got through the line, he ran.
That's Ogunjobi right there. Yeah,
trucked. He trucked the Monte KZ, and Minka and Patrick Peterson made a business decision.
Yeah. Minka was like, I'm not tackling him.
Yeah,
and Pat Pete too old for that shit. Like, I don't blame Pat Pete. What's he supposed to do? Get embarrassed by Josh Allen? He's trying to get to the Hall of Fame. Like, he can't have that clip out there. You
already got the number.
I did the part of my career like a Josh Allen throws you highlight. Like, nah, dog. I understood that decision. I'm not about to do me by myself.
I don't. I can't understand none of that. You scared?
It's cold, dude. And that ground, J-Rock, that ground is cold.
I didn't play in cold weather before, but
that's all he's thinking about. He's not thinking about making that tackle. All he's thinking about is how hard that ground gonna feel when he hit it, because Josh Allen is putting him in the dirt.
He thinking about going home to his kids and playing with him. That's your concern, yo. You gotta get out the field.
You know what Patrick Peterson saw? He saw Josh Allen running down there, and he thought about his homeboy, Earl Thomas. And he's like, man, Earl Thomas went for some shit like this, and he ain't never play again. Nah, I'm not about to be Earl Thomas.
Yeah, I still don't think Earl Thomas gonna live down that playoff game when
Exactly. Earl Thomas is Earl Thomas, and we talk about him like this.
when Derrick Henry turned him into a block.
Or everything Pat Pete would have done in Arizona would have been gone if he would have went for that tackle, dog.
Makes sense.
Yep. Okay.
Come on, money making
Money
gotta be a theme at this point, man.
I'm with you.
Wait, what? The Falcons interview Harbaugh?
Jim?
Yeah.
The Chargers did also.
But I didn't
try
try
to get Harbaugh.
Bill and Jim Harbaugh.
And they're about to end up hiring like Mike Norvell or some shit like that. Like they not getting none of them.
Ray right here says I couldn't
About to
have
be like, yeah, man, I can't wait to take this team and coach Desmond Ritter. No, like stop it.
I couldn't have cared less who would have won Saturday, but now I just want to see Shad if the Ravens lose.
Y'all got me
Ravens fans
conflicted.
show up for that.
Because I want the Ravens, like I kind of want Lamar Jackson to stop having his nonsense put on his name when it comes to people being like he can't win in the playoffs and this and he's not deserving of all of this. Like I'm kind of tired of all that shit with Lamar Jackson. So like it would be nice if he just had a little bit of a run. I don't want him to win nothing, but a little bit of a run would be cool. But see y'all in chat, and now I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to root for the national media to call this man I know not to be a fraud all summer.
I'm blaming y'all. If not you. Of all these BBB, if we lose,
hey man, they would look. I knew they was in trouble when they was this excited because Pittsburgh and Cleveland got beat down. They was like, oh yeah, they feeling themselves right now. It just was too much.
J-Rock, how long till the Steelers organization get upset with 9-10 wins if they keep losing in the wild card? Since 2018, they've only won more than 10 once. And that's when the Browns beat. Oh my God! Only once.
I mean, realistically, it's bubbling now. So I mean, you go into next year and you get the same thing, and it's Tomlin's last year. They gonna call for Tomlin.
Yeah, because they're not extending Tomlin as far as I know. They're just.
I haven't heard anything yet, but with that being said, I mean. A lot of people don't like that, when I speak about the Steelers and
Mike Tomlin.
A lot of people don't like that mediocrity word, that mediocre word.
Hey, Ace, when you was in Cabo, did you see the Mike Tomlin coming 2025 sign? Did you see that sign up there in Cabo? Is there a Mike Tomlin resort getting built there?
Mike is there now, man.
Well, I'm saying like, he out there just he might just, decide to do his second career in Cabo, which, just retire. He's getting that age where he could retire. It makes sense.
Okay. We shall see, guys. Again, this is crazy because, on Thursday, we're coming here to preview this game. I'm not even looking forward to previewing this game no more.
We're gonna have to. This is about to be
because this
NFL talk. This
kind of crazy.
Nothing else to preview except the rest of the games.
Yeah.
No, Ace. I don't want to hear this from you because we had to do this with the Bengals a couple years ago. Like, stop this. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Not from you, Ace. Not
I
from
don't
you.
think anybody else make the playoffs that year. Did the Ravens make the playoffs?
The Super Bowl? No, we missed.
What was that? 21.
Yeah. It was we just had to talk and watch the Bengals win these games. We were like, oh my God, bro, they keep with it.
Didn't the Steelers win?
It was 20. Was that 21?
Y'all got in and that was the Chiefs. That was when, yeah.
Oh yeah, there was nothing to talk about.
That's why I was asking if that was 21.
Yeah, that game was over in like 2 minutes.
I would say this because I didn't say anything on the Steelers game, but that game was as soon as they hit 21, as soon as the Bills hit 21, I felt like that game was done. I started not even paying close attention, and then by third quarter, I was like, Bills still playing with this team? Like what are you doing?
For a little
like you don't want to let the Steelers hang around because then that's when Josh Allen would throw the pick, and a crazy pass would happen, and then GG. And then
I mean, if there was Ben on the other side, that's true, but they could play a little bit. Mason was about to make a pay. Like, come on now. Yeah. George,
we missed 2 opportunities for a pick. I think Eric Rowe had a chance to get one that they threw up, and then we tipped one and it went between Chandler Sullivan and somebody else. But
I remember that one. Because he would throw it to you, but you have to catch it. If you can't catch it, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is gonna go crazy.
By the way, is this a triple, quadruple, double down booty beat down that we experienced? Like, how many booty beat down super chats did we get today?
Too many.
I've never seen it.
2 from the same person, and then somebody said, "Yes, I'm with you."
Oh, so he co-signed it. So now that's a double.
Yeah, that's a double.
All right, does anybody want to make it triple?
4-10.
We want to go. Hey, we still got time to make this go quad. The week's not over.
I'm very superstitious.
The show.
Well, we had to again. This is not even the damn preview show. We haven't.
Don't worry, Sonny. Some opposing fan is going to ruin this by also predicting them and then kind of reverse it. So if you're not a Ravens fan, I need you to be a disciplined hater this week. You know, like, don't predict nothing crazy. Don't try to meme. Just let the Raven fans do what they doing right now. You know, they in the right. Let them play their game right now, and just let them keep being high on their horse. So let's be disciplined. Let's not get any reverse jinxes going. And if you catch a Raven fan trying to lie like he's somebody else, we got to find it, call it out, throw that penalty, because then that adds another onto
I see it in the chat.
Don't count if it ain't highlighted. Anybody could just say anything in there.
I think that's a Raven.
Yeah, see, that's an op. And it ain't super chatted. Nah, you got to put your name and some check behind that.
They would have been talking trash about the Browns. They would have said something. We would have seen them by now.
I need to start baiting people. I might have to join the BBB so I can bait somebody.
It's hard to do it, dog. We ain't got nothing to play for. You can't get our pride up no more. We already lost. Like, you mean? What, you going to challenge my pride on Myles Garrett? Okay, yeah, he sucked in that last game. It is what it is.
You. No, because I know y'all 3 are going to be super disciplined. I just need some of these fans.
That's what I'm saying. No other fan base is going to be charged up enough to want to do it. Like, what are you going to do? Insult us? Tell us we are losers? We already lost, dog. Like, it's over us. You can't do that. Y'all, it's just y'all.
Okay, well, we'll be back here on Thursday.
The booty beatdown prediction doesn't count, so it's like, hey,
Wait, what? Now you created layers to this rule.
It count. and the fact that we're not in the preview show and they get out there, that's
a false start penalty. Honestly, like, that's a false start penalty. Like, dog, already? Like, come on. Like,
wait. Before we go, we need to talk about something quick. The Bake Show.
Baker Mayfield.
He put up a gem. He put up a gem there. But I don't know.
Was it more so Baker Mayfield, or was it more so the Eagles?
That's exactly like that play. The Bradbury whiffle on that tackle, and then Bayer is there just jumping at air. I'm like, okay, y'all.
Yeah, I think they missed like 10 tackles or something in that game.
Hey, man. Hey, the Eagles were ready to go. They had their tickets printed out. They had their hotels booked. If they would have won that game on some nonsense, they would have been furious.
I didn't see them winning.
Have you heard? Have you heard, Q, about the Baker? Have people come to you about Baker?
I don't know. I got Baker Mayfield muted on my Twitter words because, like, it's just been the worst conversation ever. I've had it muted for like a couple years, so I don't really be knowing what people be talking about. I've let it go. Like, I'm like, all right, well, he's streaky. Every time he has like a good streak, people lose their mind, and then he has a bad streak, and then people dunk on him. And I'm just like, I kind of just want to like enjoy Baker Mayfield as a quarterback because he's just kind of fun to watch because he's so streaky. Like, he could either give you historically bad or historically good. And he's kind of like Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? Like, that's kind of what I like about him. So that's It's not somebody you want to be your starter and like you pay. Like, but I mean, if people want to make that argument, they're gonna sound like idiots next year when they're like, "Oh, this is a bad deal that the Buccaneers got themselves in." We've been here with Baker. We know what it is. Like, so yeah, I don't really engage.
You don't pay attention. Okay. Okay. So we'll be back here Thursday, previewing the Ravens game. Also, Ace, we have to make sure we put all the other games there since you had a 6-0. People might want to make some of the money.
They might want to get the combo.
Yeah, I was gonna say to get the combo.
Mayfield versus the Lions. I don't know.
You're a guy.
Hey, don't do this to me, Ace. Don't do this to me. Don't you do this to me, Ace. Look at me.
Drink, man. I'm on my way down to Cabo right now.
We are friends. All right.
We'll be back here.
We are not doing this to each other.
Where you might see Baker Mayfield be predicted by Ace and continue the run.
You know what's the funniest thing? People be hitting me with these tweets and these takes about Baker Mayfield. Like, we're the only team that gave up on him. I'm like, man, roast the Panthers, dog. They gave up on him for Bryce Young. Okay, like
that's true. That is true. They even gave him away mid-season.
They let him go they let him go in division.
Yeah.
To start PJ Walker. Like, hey.
Yeah, that's nasty. That's nasty. Okay. Anyway, we'll be back here Thursday. Make sure you sub, hit the bell, put those comments. And Ravens fan, let's bring it down a notch. Then you can celebrate.
Turn it up. Turn up the bank.
Okay. We need to go. Thank y'all for watching. Peace out. Take it easy, man.